have, let's first look at the data, then we'll come back to Tableau. So there are two files which I have shared rather. It's the same file, it's just one of them is in CSV, the other is in an Excel format. These are the current COVID cases that you see, which is there across for each country for that matter. Right? You have the date. The date is represented in day, month, and year. These are the daily cases. These are the daily deaths which are happening. The name of the country. This is the representation. The code. Again, the country code. And the population. What is the continent? Okay, they've also given cumulative cases per 100,000. Right? So the data is pretty self-explanatory. There is a date, there is a country code given, and the cases and the death. Any questions? Any questions till now? Or we are clear? The same thing is there.
Yeah.
The same thing is there in this CSV file, just the format is different. Just a CSV. Just a CSV. And that is an Excel. So coming back to Tableau, if you opened it for the first time, you will not see anything like this. Okay, you will not see any other Tableau file that might have been there. On the left hand side, you will see a lot of options to connect to a file, to connect to a text file, a JSON access. If it's public, it's going to be limited. If you are using the desktop version, you will see a lot of options. Okay, here I see only Google Sheets and Web Data Connector. But if you are using the full version, this entire page will be fit. You can connect to BigQuery, you can connect to AWS and whatnot. You can connect to almost anything which is there. You can connect to Hive and almost everything which is out there. But for now, we are going to connect to Excel. So if I want to connect to Excel, I click on Excel. I will go to the folder where my data is. So my data is in the downloads. By date, and I'm going to use this COVID-19 geographic distribution. So it's going to load the data. Let me know if you are able to do the same. Click on Excel, select the file that you want, and you should be seeing a view like this. Taking some time. Everybody has this? Has everybody been able to?
Yes, sir.
Right. So the first thing that you'll notice over here, the data is already loaded. So if there are multiple sheets in the same Excel, you would have seen that option over here. Okay, so we'll see that at some point. When there are multiple sheets, you'll see all the sheets over here. If you notice, when I'm looking at the data, you'll see some symbols at the top. Okay, you see this symbol of a calendar. that indicate that this field is a date. You see the symbol as hash, indicates that this field is a number. You see this is ABC, this indicates that this field is alphabet, alphanumeric or is a string. You see the symbol of a globe, you will notice that this field is considered to be as a geographic location. Make sense? We have calendar, number, string, globe. Primarily, these are the types of data elements over here. So when we had opened this Excel, right? If you see this Excel sheet, by the way, so this when I see this right over here, this shows as general. Everything over here is shown as general, unless otherwise I select it as a date. Only then this field is shown as a date. I can just see it and it tells me that it is a date. But over here, the data is automatically getting converted into a specific format. That is what Tableau kind of is able to distinguish automatically internally. Make sense? Right. At the bottom left, you will see some multiple options over here. You see the sheet. So like in Excel, you have these sheets. Here also you have a sheet option. There are three options over here. One is a sheet, new worksheet. The other is a new dashboard. And the third is a new story. So we'll see what each of them mean. But first, let's go to the sheet. When you go to the sheet, you'll see if you're using an older version, you will see something called as dimensions and measures. Okay. So in terms of data warehousing concepts, dimensions are those fields that do not change much, like your name is not going to change. Measures are primarily over here numeric values. So whatever you see in green over here are measures. Whatever you see probably in blue are dimensions. Make sense? Hello?
So you said the green ones won't change its value. But what
No.
if we edit the...
Blue ones will not, the value of the blue ones will not change that much. It's like your name is not going to change every day, right? That is what is called as a dimension in terms of data warehousing. Measures are something numbers, numerically. It's going to change every time. So every time you go to a hospital, your blood pressure might be different. Your
Oh,
obviously your weight might change. Those are all
no, sir,
that is all information. Yeah.
but this is based on the Excel table we had made, right?
Yes, so it's basically kind of converting certain elements. So this data, right, automatically is getting grouped into numeric and which something which you can say non-numeric. You can simply put it that way.
Okay.
But in terms of if you have the older version, that is Tableau 2019 or something, or 2018 for that matter also, there it clearly mentions dimensions and measures. Okay, so the demarcation is very easily seen. Here you don't see that demarcation. Okay, so here you will see something called as columns and rows. So if you can think of this looks like a pivot table. In the pivot table also you had seen the columns and rows, right? So you can drag and drop anything over here. But let's first try and see what we want to do. Let's try and see what is the scenario of the cases across the world at this point of time. So the first thing we're going to do, you see the symbol of country territory code. I'm just going to double click on that. When you double click on it, automatically it is adding longitude and latitude. Did we see longitude and latitude in our data?
No.
No. So Tableau automatically adds that. Okay. Tableau automatically will add latitude and longitude based on this territory code. Underlying it is capable of doing that. You notice this? You see you'll notice 4 unknown or anything, you might see an error. Those are called geographic errors. So what is happening over here? If I click on this, I can edit the location over here. So it's not able to recognize these elements. These might be something else also itself. These might be, I don't know what they indicate, but they are not countries. Right? So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave those 4 unknown over there itself. Do you see this map? Everybody got this map? I just double click country territory code. Everybody has that? Anybody facing any issue?
Yes.
Getting?
No, sir.
All right. Now, we want to look at the cases. So what we'll do, we'll take cases on the left and put it on color. Drag it and put it on color. You can see the number of cases. This is as of yesterday, so 48 lakhs, 65. Razi. Okay. I want to change the color. This doesn't give me a right. I mean, the blue color doesn't really give me something great. So I'll click on this color over here. I will edit the color. And I'm going to put it as red gold. Okay. So I can easily see how the cases kind of look like. Make sense?
Yes, sir. So, but then isn't the we don't have a legend or something out here where we can understand what's the. Achha,
Legend
okay.
is.
Okay, got it.
So could you repeat it how you got this page?
Yeah, sure. So the first step I did was double click this. I can double click this or just drag it over here. Since it is a map, it automatically shows it as a map. On the right over here, right? You click on this show me, you'll see this multiple options, but we'll come back to this at some point. Okay. Clear till here? I just either I double click this, sorry, not this. I double click this with the globe symbol and I put cases on color. Those are the 2 steps I did. And then I edited the color which I have. Edit color. red, gold. I did. Understood? So if I move my mouse, it tells me how many cases were there. So China, Russia. I mean, we are almost topping the world, but yes. Clear? You want me to repeat it once more?
No, sir, got it.
Okay. We can change the heading that you want. Over here, you see the sheet 1. Okay, so it is directly taking the name of the sheet. Okay, so if I double click on this, it tells me it is taking sheet name. Okay, the sheet name is this. So if I change this to world cases, it will become world cases. Okay, if I want to type something, I can type it world cases 2020. I can make this center aligned, apply, okay. Alright, if I want to make it bold, I can do that. I select this, make it bold, 14, apply, okay. I want to add something else to the label. I mean the tooltip, which you see, right? You see Brazil and the cases. If I want to add the deaths as well, so let's say I want to add the deaths to the tooltip. I just drag deaths onto tooltip, and you'll notice deaths command are also shown along with the cases. Make sense? Everybody understood till now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Now let's say I want, instead of the cases, I want to show the deaths instead of the cases. So can you create another map? Create another map. Let's put that world. Can you create a map in a similar way? Instead of cases, I want to show the color of deaths. The color as the total number of deaths which are happening in that particular country. Create that. So you guys, was anybody able to get that?
Yes, sir, got it.
Right. Let me also try it. Yeah. I'm just going to save it. You got something like this? I assume you got something like this. Probably I should not have saved it. Let it be. I'll save it later. Now let's say I want to see both of them together. As of now, what we have done is we have created two different graphs. I want to see both of them together. So let's try and see if that is possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new sheet. And I'm going to add a new sheet. I'm going to put country code. Put cases on color. Change this color. This red gold. Okay. Now you see this latitude. I am going to select this latitude. Control Shift. Select this latitude. Click on Control and drag it to the right. Control and click this latitude. You should be able to select and drag it to the right. You see that?
So would you repeat, how did you add the second part of the data?
Press Control.
Not this, I mean for the deaths.
Okay, how did I get this? Is that what you're saying?
How did you combine both? Like we had one graph for deaths and the other graph for cases.
I haven't combined as of now.
Okay.
I will combine now.
Okay.
I have just first of all click Control, select this latitude and drag it on the right. So you will see the same graph repeated twice. It's the same thing. It's the cases only.
Okay.
Okay, it's not the deaths. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to, if you see on the left hand side, earlier you were seeing these marks. In these marks, you are seeing only one of those elements, right? Sum of cases. In deaths, you'll see sum of deaths. When I see this, you see three options here. All, one is latitude, the other is also second latitude of the same two graphs. So the second latitude which you see, instead of cases, I'm going to put deaths on color. So that changes. The graph at the bottom changes. Understood what I did? I am going to select the second latitude that you see over here. You know, when you expand it, instead of cases, I'm going to put deaths on color. Everybody got this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So though this looks interesting, but there is a better way of doing it also. What I'll do, click on this. You see, click on this second latitude in the rows and make it dual axis. When you make it dual axis, both of them become same on top of each other. They become. Click on this latitude, make it dual axis. If you want to see the difference, you can change the opacity. You change the opacity, right? You will see the color kind of changing. There are two colors mixed together. it still doesn't give you the right information in a way, but we'll see what we can do for that. Everybody got this?
Yes, sir.
Now I again click on this and I can change the mark type over here, right? I see a lot of options over here. Instead of this filled map, I'll make it a circle. Now you see the circles. I can change the circle color, by the way. Blue color is not anything great to go by. I can go with red. I can choose. Red. Let's do something else. Black. Still doesn't look so great. Let's try something else. Let's try and change the background color of this. Still doesn't look that great. Okay, this gives little light, better idea. Here, if you look at it, wherever there is a darker, and I can, let's see, increase the shape size also. So here you see the size. You can increase the size. I don't like the color, but there doesn't seem to be anything that fits in. Let's take this. Sadly, the colors are as good as they get. So this is another way of representing the data. Okay, understood? Other than the colors, everybody got this?
So in the bar type, how do we know which bar is for which country?
This one. You
Yes, sir.
when you move your mouse over it, you'll move. This is
Oh.
not a great option in a way. This will probably work when we this option, right? In your dual access, when you click dual access, I think this option will come for others also, not just for this. But I don't think this is a great option, by the way. I can change it. I can change both of them to bar. Okay. Doesn't give anything great. Not that great a representation, by the way, on this, unless I move my mouse over it. And again, I don't like this color because it's too light. You know, in terms of what we can do, actually we can do it this way. We can choose two colors. This color I can choose black. This color I can choose red. I can do the other way around. Yeah. Yeah, this looks a little decent. And maximum deaths are over here. Then second, the second. So this gives a little better representation just rather than just looking at the whites. Right? Any questions? Any questions, Shalam?
No, sir.
Right. So before we move to the next, I just want to go back to our IPPS data. So I'm going to open a new workbook, new Tableau workbook. Okay. So if you can open the new Tableau workbook and import the IPPS data that we had. Import the IPPS data. The first Excel analysis that we did. So I have that work. Second one opening up, taking some time. We notice one thing, right? When you add this field, the measure, when you add the measure, automatically it is summing that value. Okay, by default, it is summing that value over here. So you can change that sum to average, median, count, distinct, all that kind of stuff. You can try over here. Yeah, just click on this sum over here. You can automatically sum that particular value. I mean, you can change that calculation for that. So I have this. I will go to data source. I will go to Excel. See, we had tried to create a tabular report. If you remember, we wanted to create a tabular report. We can do that also over here. So I'm just going to take provider name. I'm going to take provider ID. Then we had provider state. And you can even add the group over here. You can add the group in the beginning. I want it that way. And what we had, total discharges, sum of average covered charges. So very simply, I am getting that same report over here. Understood? In less than 5 minutes, I'm able to create the report over here. That report that we were looking for. Even if I remove this group over here, I still get the entire value. Understood? Very easily, I'm able to create that same report that we were trying to create in Excel. If I want to filter on a specific group, what I can do is I can take this group, drag it on filter. Taking a little time. So if I want only group A, I can select group A, apply. And here I see only data for group A. Understood? I make it fit with 100 is better. So I'm getting the same report over here that we were trying to create in Excel in less than 5 minutes. I mean, we can also create the same report in Excel using pivot in less than 5 minutes. But this is another way in which you can do that. Everybody got this?
Yes, sir.
Right. let's go back to this map and we'll try and create one more graph before we call it a day, and create one more graph over here. Let's add a sheet, and I want to create the data based on the timeline. I want to see the cases, how they have been increasing over time. So for that, I need date. So I'm going to add date. When I add this date, I get 2 years. So when I click over this, right, I see multiple options: year, quarter, month, day, year, quarter, month, day. I'll tell you what is the difference between those. Let's just add the cases over here. I'm seeing total number of cases in 2020. Total number of cases in 2019 was 27. When I look at this, let's say if I make this quarter, it is giving me that information over Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. But we'll not, and let's say if I give it by month, you see Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, September, December. If I make it day, it is summing the cases by date. That on every first, what is the sum of cases on first? But over here, when I choose this day, I'm going to get the cases, and I can make this as a graph. I am going to get the cases like this. There's a difference when I choose this day versus the other day. This day is telling me all the cases on first of every month. So there are 10 months from December till September 2020. There are 10 months for every month, how many cases were there on first. It is telling me the sum of those cases. For 30th, how many cases were there? On 20th, how many cases were there? Understood what is the difference between this day versus this day? If I take this month, I'm getting the sum of cases. I mean, this actually you will not get the difference by this month value. What is more important is, even if I do this month, it's going to show it to me sequentially from December till September. This month is not going to, though the values might be same, because there are in multiple months at this point of time. But here it's showing me Jan to December. There's a difference. Understood what I'm trying to say? The difference between this month versus this month, or this day versus this day. So I can show you another example. Let's say I have for this month day, right? I have 984345. So let's go back over here in this sheet and let's add a filter. The day is 1. If I sum the cases, you see 984345. See the difference? Here also I'm getting the same value, 984345. So it is summing all the cases on first of every month across all countries. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We are going to take the second day. This gives me the cases, how they've been increasing over time, right? You can see a growing ECG in a way. And I want to see this for different countries. So I can drag country code into color. So I can, as of now, I'll add all members. You'll see so many different graphs. Right? Most of them are at below 20K. Quite a few. You see Brazil. See India increasing like anything on the daily cases. The USA's cases are kind of dropping compared to that. I want to see specific countries information. So I will drag country territory code in filter and I'll apply. I don't want to see this code because they don't make any sense. So I'm going to hide the card. Now I want to choose a specific country or choose multiple countries. So what I'll do, I will click on this filter and I'll say show filter. When I'm going to say show filter, I see those multiple options over here. I see all the options. Over here also, I can click over here and choose multiple option, multiple value drop down. So in a way, right, this is much more easier. I can choose, I remove all. I can say INT. I can say USA. You see the cases of USA are reducing. I can say Brazil. Cases of USA and Brazil are reducing compared to India. India is like way ahead of everybody as of now. You notice they hardly had any cases till June. Even for that matter in August. It's only from they just starting zoom across all the cases, right? There are 97,000 daily cases. Wow. The difference? Understood what I did?
Yes.
So what looks easier? Excel, SQL or Tableau?
Tableau, obviously.
It's great.
So could you explain the difference between the 2 days, day option?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to add the date. I'm going to add the cases. Okay. I'm going to make this into a graph. Over here you see this option, multiple graphs are there. This is continuous. Okay. I will change this as a day. When I see this day, the cases that you see on this graph, so let's say I choose another date. Let's say I choose 5th, 6th of the date. And I sum these cases. You see 1020388. Let's see what I get over here for 6th. 1020388. So what it's doing is it is summing all the cases on 6th of every month. So 6th of all these months, I am summing all the cases and I'm showing that value. But if I choose the second day over here, okay, this is aggregation by day. This is aggregation by month. This is aggregation by quarter. Here it is going to show me, and this is across years. If I have data across years, it will show me that. So here I have multiple months, which is why I am able to see the value per day. It has summed all the values for a particular day in a month and it's showing that value. Here it is showing me the actual date. If you notice, right, it is showing me May 8th, 2015. It is showing me the actual date. So this will show me a sequential data in terms of how the cases have grown by each day from starting from Jan till September 2020. Understood the difference?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So I see this. There is one more thing which we can do. It will take only 2 seconds. I'm going to duplicate this sheet. Okay, and I'm going to add this date into pages. To add this date into pages. And this year, I will take this year as day. Alright, I'm going to take this year as day. Let's do this full screen. Let me and I'm going to play this. Okay, I'm going to choose the third option over here. I'm going to play this. So it's going to tell me how the cases have increased over time. You notice the day is changing over here. 24th. It's changing. February. It's taking some. I don't know what is happening. It's looking too slow. How the cases are increasing over time. Oh, there's some lag over here, which is why it's not showing properly. There's some lag over here, which is why it's not really showing the values properly. Ideally, it will go through each year, each day, by the way. Let's say if I go by month also, right? If I go by month and I play it, I can see how the cases have increased over months, every month. I can use this pages to kind of show a time analysis of the data. So yes, any questions till now? कोई विशेष टिप्पणी?
So in this table, how did you add multiple countries on the graph?
So there is a filter over here. So when we did this, right, we added the filter. You saw how we added the filter. I
Yes,
dragged
sir.
country and territory into filter. I will show the filter. Okay, click on this and show filter. Once you show filter, you have an option: multiple value, single value list, single value drop down, multiple value list, multiple value drop down. So I have chosen multiple value drop down. In this multiple value drop down, I chose those countries that I wanted. Okay, so if I choose Australia,
Okay.
no cases at all. Australia, again, it's a flat line. It's like compared to the other countries, this is literally nothing. Okay. So keep this file, save the file. We'll continue from here next time.
Sir, could you send this file later in the week, because my Tableau hadn't got installed, so I started from midway. I haven't completed the whole thing.
1 minute. I will save it to Tableau Public. I will give you the link. Give me a second. The challenge with Tableau Public is, right, it saves it to public, but you will not be able to do anything. I mean, you can download that file and stuff, but the data sources might look, you will not be able to access the data source, but you will still get this fields over there. So just give me a second.
So even if I have the desktop version, still I can't use it.
You should be able to use it. That will not be an issue, but you might not have access to the data sources.
Okay.
But you will get this. The data will already be there.
Okay.
Because you're not adding anything else now, so the data is going to be there. So just give me a second.
Right.
So it's going to publish it online. So that link can be shared with anybody. Anybody can go and see that view online itself. You don't need to download anything at all if you want to look at the graphs and stuff.
Okay.
So just give me 1 second. By the way, till that time, can you just mark your attendance? So here, right, you will see this graph over here. Here you see this option to download also. Okay, so you can download this file from here and you should be able to open it on your public or desktop version. Okay, I see the same. I can select the sheets over here, world cases 2020. So it shows me the view over here itself. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
You can download the file from here. You should be able to open it on your. The only thing you might not be able to go to. So here, right, you will not see this option properly. The data source, if you go, but you will see all this. The data you will see, but this option you might not see because the data source is on my laptop. It's not going to be able to connect to that. But you will see this data because that data has been loaded. Okay, this one. All right.
Okay, sir.